Hola a todos y bienvenidos a las chorriaventuras de Black Road. Tenemos con horas y quiere ir a sitcom para ver algo de la iglesia de Alice. Ya sabéis, la viejecita agradable que nos tiene, que realmente es la que nos mantiene ocupados con la basura que genera y que recoge. La iglesia del pepino.
I made my way into the town.
Espagueti volador. Hola, ve a sitcom B. Vale, continuamos hacia el sitcom B. Perfecto, es lo que queríamos. No. Mis ojos. ¿Dónde está la iglesia de esta mujer? Aquí está la iglesia.
A man in a nice white dress spoke of creation, life, death, and ascension. The stories were slightly confusing, but I found them very comforting. After the service, Mr. Silton and some of the others were all very excited to buy some smelly green tobacco from the man in the nice dress. "Come on, girls," said Alice as she offered the cigarette. "Anyone partaking?" But Mrs. Silton pointed to her pregnant tummy as she said, "You're as bad as my husband." The man, who I found out was called the vicar, took the cigarette. "Robot, as you know," he said as he took a deep breath, "our sports day is this afternoon. Do you think you're up to the challenge?"
Me he enfrentado con bestias de fuego, tierra. ¿Qué puñetas? Oh. Pam pam param pam 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 param pam 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 param pam 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 param pam. Oh. Lanzamiento de bota. Buh. Esta está mucho mejor. Este no creo que esté tan bien, pero supero los 20. ¿Eh? Eso es como el minijuego de los esteroides. Ganado, he ganado. Blablabla. ¿Y ahora qué?
I walked up to Sim and the vicar, but I wasn't sure what they were talking about. "Yeah," said Sim, "totally filled the basement. She's got 3 old garages as well. All full. stuff everywhere. I mean, it obviously hit me hard when Alice said she was popping inside. Let me know if you need any more help. If you really want to help, do me and yourself a favor. Stop collecting the bicycles and everything else. You've got to let go. I think Alice made the decision right then and there, as she just turned to me and said, "It's
No.
all yours."
Harto me hallo de recoger la basura de Alice. Bueno, a por el millón de cosas, ¿no? Hala. Solo 281 aquí. Buh.
The last thing I found was a small photo album. I decided I would leave it here. After I had cleaned their basement, Alice and Sim got back in the van with everyone else. So I caught the train back to the house, which I suppose now really was our family's home.
Trasfondo, trasfondo. Malditas palomas. Pero que hemos hecho en falta en la iglesia al mayordomo cabrón. Así que algo habrá hecho en nuestra ausencia. Porque a fin de cuentas hay que pagar las consecuencias de haber perdido tanto el tiempo. Explicaré al japonés que va a morir porque habéis ido a la iglesia. Hay robots homicidas, da igual, vamos a una fiesta. Vamos a hacer carreras de sacos, lanzamiento de huevos. Y vamos a tirar pedos. ¿Por qué? Porque podemos. A fin de cuentas nosotros podemos salir a la calle, vosotros no. Ese es el mensaje que da el juego. La gente muere porque los niños ocupan espacio. Y da igual que muera el resto de la gente si tú estás bien.
Mainton was the next stop. I could get back to the mainland and Mr. Silton's from here.
Sí, esa es la idea.
I made my way back out to the mainland.
Me sorprende que no se hayan dado cuenta de que estoy viajando tanto. En las oficinas de seguridad de Mainton o del mundo en general, del mundo humano. Oops. Oops, I did it again.
I took the fisherman's boat to the old man's estate.
Bueno, ¿ahora qué?
When I got back to the house, it was quite late, so everyone was going to bed. For once Alice wasn't smoking her smelly tobacco, and was actually the first one asleep. And so, I actually felt quite peaceful, as I made myself comfortable for the night.
A ver qué jode la tranquilidad.
Japan must have different clocks to us, as it was barely daybreak when Dr. Hiro's next communication came through. It was amazing. He really had managed to find a few other groups of survivors. So, these are our saviors, said the French scientist. A band of thieves, some old ladies and a little girl. Well, they've done better than we have, laughed the big German man. There are no bad robots where they are. The Frenchman smirked. Except for the three stood behind them. Those are our friends, said Heather, quick as ever to defend us. Guys, say hello. So there is hope, said the American scientist. The nice virus really does work. I've had Junior working on a similar virus, but the consciousness software is too well coded. It's okay, said the old lady. The virus really does work.
Recordemos que nunca ha sido probado. ¿Esos son disparos?
The next day, Heather tried to finish off the nice virus code. There were a few problems, but, with a bit of help from the old lady, everything eventually worked. However, by the time we were done, it was quite late, and, as Heather's nice virus code would take a few hours to compile, the old lady suggested we take it easy for the evening. She rummaged through her suitcase and pulled out a pack of what she called cards. For some reason this offended the blind man, who didn't want to play, and Mrs. Silton refused, as she seemed to think it was some kind of gambling. But everyone else gathered around the table.
Ha, ha, ha.
The old lady had explained that the rules involved lying, or bluffing, as she put it, so everyone would be trying to work out what each other's cards were. I think the pressure of playing got to Alice, as she folded almost straight away. At one point, Mr. Preston thought he had won, but he really hadn't. As usual, Sim's sneeze gave him away, which made us all laugh. At one point there was a very tense standoff. Mr. Silton had some very good cards, but not as good as Mr. Deck. Soon, it came down to Mr. Logan, Heather, and myself. Then, just me and Heather. Despite having the best cards possible, I decided to let Heather win. I was so pleased how happy this made her. It was nearly midnight by the time the game finished, so most people got ready for bed, leaving just me, Mr. Preston and Mr. Logan. Mr. Preston was trying to explain his conspiracy theories.
Como
This
siempre.
made Mr. Logan laugh. Barry already told you all that was nonsense, but Mr. Preston continued, don't listen to Silton, he's a proper c***. However, Mr. Logan still pointed out how flawed his logic was. For one, everyone who he claimed was in a shadowy syndicate ruling the world from behind the scenes, were the same people who actually ruled the world, the Queen of England, the President of America, etc. He wasn't even swayed when Mr. Logan pointed out that these people had either been missing or dead since the war, so there was little chance anyone was even ruling the world these days. Mr. Preston paused briefly, then smiled the smile of a man confident in his own beliefs, and went to bed. Which left just me and Mr. Logan talking. He was an interesting man, but we'd never really chatted as he'd made
Hasta que
it
hizo
quite
Sneak,
clear he
¿no?
didn't really like robots. He'd seen many friends killed by them during the war, so I could kind of see his point. I tried to explain that I had once accidentally killed an old man, and I still felt complete regret. That's good. You never really get over it, he said as he looked around. Time for bed. Good night.
Otra escena de estas oníricas. Sí. Bueno, al menos hay una luna. Ups. Pensaba que habíamos dejado atrás los pilotes de la muerte. A ver.
Very early the next morning,
Estados Unidos ha
a
caído.
terrified-looking Dr. Hero appeared on the screen. Our defenses are nearly breached. The last door could go at any moment. We are nearly ready to broadcast the nice virus, said the old lady. But her expression soon turned to confusion. Where's the American scientist? They never saw it coming, said Dr. Hero. Just like here, thousands of robots, all attacking at once. Heather looked like she was going to burst into tears. There were no survivors, said the French scientist. It was all so quick. It was strange. Although we'd only spoken to the Americans once, I could tell everyone felt a huge sense of loss. We may have a problem here too, interrupted Sim. The robot server, it's become sentient. The computer that runs everything, he really is now he, or at least he thinks he is. The blind man explained that it was the wireless fidelity system that would have linked him to the 4 main robots. That's why they were all so clever, said the old lady. The network spread the intelligence around all 4 of them. Well, said Mr. Silton, 5 now. Sim explained I would need to force a power cycle on the server before we sent the signal. He's got so much control of the network now, he could probably shut the satellite back down before we'd even started setting it up. The old lady rummaged around in a few boxes. Here, she said as she gave me a passkey, take this, it'll get you into the observatory in the attic, that's where he is.
Ya podemos ver todo, pero... Tela. El camino es largo. Bien, la única opción es... Desde la sala donde estamos ahora... Vale, la mejor opción es el cuarto del profesor. Y subir. Porque es la única habitación que está subiendo para arriba. ¿Cuántos enemigos quedan, en teoría? 3. No. Bien, y aquí tenemos que ir hacia la derecha. Aquí. Luego una vez aquí es subir más todavía. Perfecto. Una vez aquí. Ups. Es hacia la derecha. ¿Pero cuál? ¿Esta? Sí. ¿Por qué hay un interrogante aquí? No hay nada raro. Mm.
The huge room turned out to be a cinema, but before I could have a proper look around, the
Vaya.
professor appeared again. He looked confused and then disappointed that it was, as he put it, the wrong time. But I was so excited when he explained that I could plug myself into the cinema projector and watch my old memories. He also fished out an old gramophone which apparently I would be able to plug myself into, allowing me to play music I had heard. To top this all off, he opened another portal back to the hallway, but he had just finished setting up the gramophone when again, before we could properly thank him, he was gone.
Pues aún faltan muchas canciones que escuchar. Ah, mira, qué guay. Vale, pues continuamos nuestro viaje hacia el boss. Hombre, el observatorio ya directamente. Cómo mola. El arte está muy bien hecho. Me encanta. Me encanta. Me vuelve loco. Me flipa. Oh, vaya. ¿Dónde estoy? Ah, vale. Uy, planetas, planetas. Vale. Despacio, despacio, despacio. ¿El boss? Ah, no, fuego. Y aquí tengo que subir hasta arriba a la izquierda. O sea, aquí tengo que tirar de la cadena. bajar por aquí. Ah, vale. Casi. Y esta es la puerta. Al final resulta fácil. ¿Y ahora qué? ¿Dónde está esto? Eso está muy alto. Au. Oh, vale. Los superpoderes que nos han ido otorgando durante el juego nos están ayudando a conseguir avanzar hasta que nos matan. Casi. Pues si no, no podríamos haber llegado hasta aquí. Vamos a hacer que pase el serrucho este, porque si no el salto va a ser complicado. Eso es, saltamos, nos enganchamos a la cadena. Esperamos a que la hélice haga su trabajo. Y continuamos subiendo. Au. Bueno, al menos hemos avanzado. No. Bueno, al menos he habido un checkpoint por aquí en medio, lo cual siempre ayuda. Si no estaríamos muy fastidiados. Hola. ¿Por qué no has saltado? Salta, salta. Salta, salta, pequeña langosta. Ups, salta. Ven con papá. Salta, salta, salta. Ups. Vale, mucho más fácil. Hombre, la puerta. ¿Es cosa mía o ahí había muerte? Efectivamente, hay muerte. Así que ahora hemos subido. puñetas. Muy bien. ¿Por qué? Tiki, tiki, tiki. Muy bien. Saltamos, 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 saltamos. Esto no debería ser difícil. Y ya estamos aquí. Suelta. Gracias. El boss, ¿no?